Behind every great man
is a great, confident, exceptional woman.
Hi, and welcome to Behind Every Great Man. I am Jessica, your host. Behind every great man is a great woman who learned how to carry everything and is now learning how to let go. Most women, if you asked them directly, "Are you controlling?" would say, "No, I'm not controlling." And they would mean it, because controlling doesn't feel like control when you're the one carrying everything. It feels like responsibility. It feels like competence. It feels like being the only one who sees what needs to be done, because you are the one managing the schedule, the household, and everything in between. So let's talk about it, honestly. This episode isn't about shame. It's about noticing patterns we've normalized in ourselves. Patterns that didn't start because we wanted power or were some kind of control freaks, but because we wanted safety. When you are a capable woman, when you can multitask like a mother, when you learned how to anticipate needs, solve problems, and hold things together, and you do it well, it becomes very hard to trust other people when getting things done. Not because we think they can't do it or they're incapable, but because you are so capable. So we became the one who knows what's best, the one who keeps everything running, the quiet guardian of it all. We are at the controls. And if we are at the controls, everyone will be okay. It feels safe. But control, and listen to me when I say this, can quietly sneak in wearing the disguise of love. Of course you run the house. You're the one who keeps things moving and notices what needs to be done. But when everything flows through you, your body doesn't fully get to rest. When you're always the default for everyone, there's no one to lean into, and over time, even love can start to feel heavy, not because you're not handling everything, but because you were never meant to hold it all alone. I saw this so clearly when my son was an infant. I ran a very tight schedule. His naps, his feedings, his awake time. I knew exactly how long he would sleep, 22 minutes, and I'd be ready to breastfeed the moment he stirred. I was on it. When we introduced a bottle, it meant my husband could help with feedings. You'd think that I would feel such relief. And in some ways, I did feel relief, but in other ways, not at all. Is he getting enough? Is the bottle at the right angle? Did he burp him? Should I step in? Am I needed? What's ironic is my husband already had 3 kids. He's a veteran at parenting. I'm the noob. And yet, in my mind, I knew what was best. Not because I didn't trust my husband, but because I felt responsible for everything. And that's how control often looks. It doesn't have to look sharp or aggressive, just vigilant, tight, constantly on, constant thinking, or obsessing even. So I want to walk through a few subtle ways control can show up in our lives, especially as wives and mothers. And if you hear yourself in any of this, just stay with me. This isn't accusation, it's just awareness. First, if you ask for help, but then redo it anyway. You ask your child to load the dishwasher, your partner to pack a lunch or handle bedtime, but the moment it's done, quote, wrong, or not how you do it, you fix it. Not because you don't appreciate the help, but because you trust your way more. That's not how you load the dishwasher. That's not the bedtime routine that I do. Another way is if you struggle to truly rest unless everything is handled your way. You can sit down, but your mind doesn't. A part of you is always scanning what's unfinished, what's being forgotten, what might go wrong. Your nervous system doesn't know how to stand down because it learned long ago that vigilance equals safety. This isn't dominance. This is hyper responsibility. Another way, if you manage people instead of trusting them, you're constantly reminding people to do something. You don't just trust others. You oversee everything. You call it, quote, being on top of things. Another way is being out of the loop makes you anxious. If someone else is planning a trip, someone else handling the kids, someone else making decisions, instead of relief, you feel tension. This is how I felt with my husband and my son. Control often isn't about power, it's about fear. Fear that if you're not involved, something is going to be missed or mishandled or fall apart. If you said yes to any or all of these, or you can relate to these, you may have controlling tendencies, and that's okay, because control didn't come from nowhere. You picked it up along the way. Many women didn't choose control. They adapted into it. Maybe you had to grow up early. Maybe you learned not to rely on others. Maybe you were praised for being, quote, the strong one. Maybe things actually did fall apart when you weren't holding them together, so you stepped in and you stayed there. Control wasn't about dominance, it was about self-protection. And that brings us here. If you ask for help, if you even ask for help, but redo it anyway, over time, this teaches everyone around you a lesson, and this is big. It's easier if mom just does it. So no more help, no more support, and now you're exhausted and resentful and alone in the responsibility. If you manage people instead of trusting them to the people that you love, it can feel like micromanagement, especially to a partner who wants to feel capable too. I want to take time for our weekly pause. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, take this moment for you. Close your eyes if you can. Let's all take a deep breath in together. Exhale it out. Another deep, soothing breath in. And let it out. One more deep breath in. And let it out slowly. Be honest with yourself. What are you trying to control right now? Who are you trying to control right now? What's underneath this need to control? What are you afraid would happen if you stopped managing, directing, even forcing? What would it be like if you trusted others more? If you trusted your partner? If you trusted God with what you're gripping so tightly? What fear lives beneath your white knuckles and clenched fists? Were you hurt? Let down? Unknowingly vowed to never let it happen again? Maybe you feared people would leave. Maybe you felt powerless, unsafe, unable to control anything, so now you try to control what feels within your reach. Your home, your family, your partner, outcomes. But hear this gently, sister. Whatever the source of your need to control is, that must have been hard for you. That must have taken a toll. I'm sorry you had to carry that. I'm sorry you learned to grip life so tightly in order to feel safe. It's exhausting, isn't it? You want more than anything to trust God, to trust your partner, to trust the people you love. A flower grows and takes its form in this world, not because we planned for it, not because we micromanaged or controlled it, but because it's carried by the powerful, rhythmic flow of life. Life unfolds all on its own, nothing to control. Life is moving, whether you want it to or not. We can resist the current, or we can soften, let go, and allow God's hands to carry us over the obstacles. Some of the most incredible things in life arrive as complete surprises when we loosen our grip, open to the unknown, open to new possibilities, imperfect, inconsistent, yet deeply beautiful. Anything you can't control is teaching you how to let go. Deep inhale. Exhale it out and open your eyes. Sister, letting go does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying what was never meant to be yours alone. It is okay to rest. It is okay to be supported. It's okay if it doesn't look the way that you would do it. It is okay to loosen your grip and still be a great mother, a great partner, and a great woman. Behind every great man is a great woman who learned how to carry everything and is now learning how to let go. Thanks for taking the time to join me in listening to this podcast episode. You can find more episodes of Behind Every Great Man on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. And if this spoke to you, please subscribe, and why not share it with your girlfriends? Thanks again, and join me on the next episode.